given a is equal to 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1, prove that e to the power of n is equal to 1 plus 2n minus 4n and 1 minus 2n, where n is the positive integer. Now, if you remember induction, we'll solve this by induction. Okay. Now, given a is equal to this, that means a can be written as, in terms of a to the power of n. If you see the expression for a to the power of n, therefore, what can a be written as? N is equal to 1 here, isn't it? For a. So, therefore, 3 can be written as 1 plus 2 into 1, 1 plus 2n, because n is equal to 1 here, minus 4 into 1, 1, and 1 minus 2 into 1, isn't it? This shows that uh, Pn is true for n is equal to 1, isn't it? Where Pn is what statement? Where Pn is the statement, Pn is the mathematical statement that e to the power of n is equal to 1 plus 2n minus 4n and 1 minus 2n, right? If this Pn is the mathematical statement, that means this Pn holds for n is equal to 1. Okay. Now we shall assume the statement for n is equal to k. Let us assume pk. What is pk? That is e to the power of k is equal to 1 plus 2k minus 4k, k 1 minus 2k, right? And assuming pk, we shall prove pk plus 1. And what is pk plus 1? That ak plus 1 is equal to 1 plus twice k plus 1 minus 4 k plus 1, k plus 1, 1 minus twice k plus 1. This is what we want to show. Okay. So therefore, ak plus 1 is equal to ak into a. What is ak we have assumed? Ak we have assumed as 1 plus 2k minus 4k, k 1 minus 2k. And what is a here? A here is 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. Now this is 1 plus 2k. Multiply the two matrices. First row, first column. Then first row, second column. Then second row, first column. Then second row, second column. Okay. Simplify this. You get 3 plus 2k minus 4k. Here you get minus 4 minus 8k minus 4k. and here you get 3k plus 1 minus 2k. And here you get minus 4k minus 1 plus 2k, which is equal to, now you simplify this, you will get 3 plus 2k, 3 minus 2k in fact. So this is plus 6k. So 3 plus 6k minus 4k. Because if you multiply this, you get 3 plus 6k. And here this is minus 4k. So this becomes 3 plus 2k. And this is minus 4 minus 4k. This is k plus 1. And this is minus 2k minus 1. Now, if you see the expression for ak, this is 1 plus twice k plus 1. Can this be written as 1 plus twice k plus 1? Yes, it can be written. What is the second one? Minus 4k plus 1. Can this be written as minus 4k plus 1? Yes. This is already k plus 1. And this one, 1 minus twice k plus 1. Can this be written as 1 minus twice k plus 1? Yes. That means this shows that a pk plus 1 is true whenever pk is true. Hence, Pn is true for all natural numbers. That is, a to the power of n is equal to 1 plus 2n minus 4n n 1 minus 2n. Okay, so this is by induction. Okay, so this was a problem from induction. Any question here? Moving on to the next problem. The next problem is a little theoretical. This is not calculation based. If you read the next question, it states A and B are square matrices of order n. If A and B are square matrices of order n, then prove that A and B will commute for multiplication if A minus lambda I and B minus lambda I will commute for every scalar. That means commute means commutative property will hold. Okay. So let A and B be two matrices. Let us assume A and B be two matrices, two square matrices of order n. Such that A minus lambda I and B minus lambda I commute. That is A minus lambda I into commute means A minus lambda I into B minus lambda I must be equal to B minus lambda I into A minus lambda I. Right? This is the commutative property with respect to multiplication. these two matrices commute. That means the product of these two must be equal to the product of these two. What do we need to show? We need to show that A and B commute. Now, what do you mean by A and B commute? We need to show that A and B commute. That is, AB is equal to BA. That is, we need to show, right? So let us start with what is given here. Here, A minus lambda I into B minus lambda I is equal to B minus lambda I into A minus lambda I. Multiply. You need to multiply because distributive property holds. So therefore, you can multiply uh, B with this, right? So we have A minus lambda I into B minus and lambda I minus lambda I into A minus lambda I, right? Which is equal to, again, you can distribute A over this, which is equal to A B minus lambda I minus lambda I into B minus lambda I, right? This is because distributive property with respect to multiplication. Only distributive, I think the only distributive property will do. Distributive property, let just mention here, left or right. Which one are we using? Left distributive property or right distributive property? Right distributive property. Right? Now multiply. You have AB minus lambda IB minus lambda IA plus lambda square I is equal to AB okay. So you have AB. Okay, here you don't have AB, you have BA, I think. Yes. So small mistake that I have made here. This should be A into B. Hmm. B minus lambda I into A minus lambda I. Hmm. Okay, okay. This is by this. If you apply distributive property here, this should be B minus lambda I into A minus B minus lambda I into IA into lambda I. Okay, B minus lambda I into A minus B minus lambda I into lambda I. This. So now if you multiply this, you get BA minus lambda IA minus B lambda I plus lambda square I. Now see what happens. AB here we have minus lambda IB. If you multiply the identity matrix with any other matrix, you will get back the same matrix, right? Minus similarly here, identity matrix with the matrix A will give you A only plus lambda square I is equal to BA minus again lambda IA will be lambda A minus Now lambda is a scalar here. So you are actually multiplying I into B. So you're getting lambda B plus lambda square I, right? Since IA is equal to A, IB is equal to B. Or you can write IA is equal to AI. This is the property from matrix multiplication that we have done, is equal to A, IB is equal to BI is equal to B. Now what you do is, from these two, you can take out the scalar lambda to get B plus A, and this will remain lambda square I. This will be BA minus, from these two, you can take out lambda plus lambda square I, right? Since, what is the property that we are using here? Since CA, C is a scalar, minus CB is equal to C times A minus B. If you see the properties in your scalar multiplication, this was the property I mentioned. Now, if you see, you have on the left hand side, you have B plus A and you have A plus B. They must be equal because matrix addition is commutative, isn't it? So minus lambda times B plus A can be written as A plus B, plus lambda square I is equal to BA minus this, on the right hand side, you write lambda A plus B as it is, plus lambda square I. So now what happens? These two cancel. These two cancel. That means AB must be equal to BA. We are cancelling by cancellation property, cancellation law, because you can cancel in matrices, both sides. Hence, A and B commute. Okay. No questions here?
No.
Moving on to the next problem. This is application of matrix. Now, application of matrices is hardly given. Okay. Uh, application of matrices is not given in your question paper. Hardly given, but just two problems just to show you some applications. These are not applications actually. There are much better ways of applying matrices. Okay, but anyway, we'll see just something basic on the application. If you read this question here, it states a manufacturer produces three products, A, B, and C, which he sells in the market. Annual sales volumes are indicated as follows, and you have this table given here. Okay, if the unit sale prices of A, B, and C are, now C, market one sells how many products? A sells 8,000 products, B sells 10,000 products, C sells 15,000 products. Similarly, market two sells so many, right? So many types of products. Product A it sells for 10,000, product B it sells 2,000, product C it sells 20,000. Also, the sale price of each of the products. For product A, the selling price is 2.25 per unit. For product B, the selling price is 1.5 per unit. And for product C, the selling price is 1.25 per unit. Okay. Find the total revenue in each market. So market one, what is the revenue? And for market two, what is the total revenue? Okay. So what we start here is we say, let A be the matrix. We can call this the product matrix. Okay. 10,000, 2,000, and you have 20,000. This, I form a matrix out of this number of units that are given. right? Form a matrix out of this. So the rows indicate markets and the columns indicate the products of this matrix. Okay. Now, if you see what is the order of this matrix, it has 2 rows and 3 columns, right? Note that the number of columns here is 3. We need to multiply this. Since we need the revenue, so we need to multiply the units with the price of each quantity, right? So the number of units sold here is 8,000. We need to multiply this with the, if this represents A, then we need to multiply this the price of each unit for A, isn't it? What is the price for each unit of A? 2.25. So 8,000 needs to be multiplied by 2.25. But we need to multiply everything, isn't it? We need to multiply this entire matrix. So if you see this matrix here is 2 by 3. That means if you want to multiply this matrix with any other matrix, what should be the order of that matrix? If I call the matrix B, how many columns here? 3. That means B must have 3 columns. Definitely, because if you want to multiply A with B, then number of columns of A must be equal to number of rows of B. Okay. So number of columns of A is 3 and number of rows of B must be equal to 3 also. So here B must have 3 rows, right? And what so are those here? Since we want to multiply by price per unit. The price per unit is given here. So this obviously this B we have to take 2.25, 1.50 and 1.25. This is a 3 by 1 matrix. Okay. So therefore, what is AB? Eight thousand, 10,000, 15,000, 10,000, 2,000, 20,000 into 2.25, 1.5, 1.25. Now, if you multiply these two matrices, okay, we normally call this as the product matrix because this contains number of products. Okay, this we call as the price per unit matrix. Okay, and this AB we call as a revenue matrix. Okay, so now you start multiplying first row into first column, 8,000 into 2.25 plus 10,000 into 1.5 plus 15,000 into 1.25. 10,000 into 2.25 plus 2,000 into 1.5 plus 20,000 into 1.25. Okay, so now if you multiply these two, you will get here 8,000 into 2.25 is 18,000. This is 15,000. This is 18,750. This is 22,500. This is 3,000. And this is 25,000. So now just add up. Okay, this is your revenue matrix that you are getting. So what is our revenue for market A? It is rupees 51,750. What is the revenue of market B? It is rupees 50,500. Okay. So this was a very elementary application of matrices. In fact, we have better applications of matrices, um, which you will see later, maybe if you're in your graduation. This was just a very rudimentary idea to give you that matrix is applied in this manner. Look at the next one. A man invests 50,000 into two types of bonds. The first bond pays 5% interest per year. The second bond pays 6% interest per year. Using matrix multiplication, determine how to divide 50,000 among two types of bonds so as to obtain an annual interest of 2,780. Okay. So first of all, he invests 50,000 in both types of bonds. So I say, let the man invest rupees X in bond A and rupees 50,000 minus X in bond B, right? So we form the matrix. Let A is equal to, now with this called the investment matrix. Okay, let's call this, let A is equal to, now you can make this, because you have X and 50,000 X only, either you can make this a row matrix or you can make this a column matrix. Let us make this a row matrix, X and 50,000 minus X. You can make it a column matrix also, no problem. So this is a 1 by 2 matrix, sorry, not 2 by 1. Okay, so this is the investment matrix. Okay, now see, in order to find out the annual interest, what do we need to multiply X by? We need to multiply X with the interest, right? So we form the matrix B. Because we want to multiply it with A, we want to keep the number of columns of this matrix is equal to number of rows of the matrix B. So rows of the matrix B must be equal to 2. And because we need to multiply each investment by the interest, each interest is how many? This is 5% interest. So what we are going to do is we are going to keep 5% here, 5 by 100 or 0.05, and 6% here. Okay, because we want to multiply these two, right? Therefore, what is AB here given? What is this is called the interest matrix. Sorry, this is called the rate matrix, not the interest matrix. What is given? What is this total interest? Total interest is given as 2780. This is a 1 by 1 matrix. Okay, this is called the interest matrix. Right? So now what is AB we can get from here? Therefore, AB is equal to, multiply these two, X and 50,000 minus X into 0.05 into 0.06. Okay. So you multiply these two, you will get here 0.05x plus 0.06. Okay. And first row into first column. And that is all you get. Yes, that is all you get. Okay. You can simplify this a little. You can get 0.05 plus, I think this is 3000 minus 0.06 x. This you're getting 3000 minus 0.01 x. So according to a problem, this matrix AB product, that is the interest matrix, is equal to the given interest matrix 2780, right? This is the interest matrix that is given here. That means I can write 3000 minus 0.01 x is equal to 2780, and when 3000 minus 2780 is equal to 0.01 x. That means 0.01 x is equal to 220. That means x must be equal to 220 divided by 0.01. X is equal to rupees 22,000. So what is the investment in type A? 22,000. Therefore, investment in bond B, total investment 50,000 minus x, isn't it? Which is equal to 50,000 minus 22,000, which is 28,000. Okay, I hope this is clear. These are just two elementary applications of matrices. The transpose of a matrix is another matrix. The transpose of a matrix A is another matrix that is obtained from matrix A by interchanging the rows and columns. It is denoted by A transpose. Okay, for example, here C I have given here. Suppose A is equal to 2513. This is the given matrix. Then the transpose of A is denoted by A transpose. And what should be the A transpose? How will I find out A transpose from A? I simply make these rows into columns. So I get 2513. This is my A transpose. Okay, similarly, it works for all other matrices. You convert the rows to columns, you will get the transpose of a matrix. Let's say the second example here, given A is equal to 321, 654. What should be A transpose? 321, 654. So if you see here, if the order of this is 2 by 3, the order of this is 3 by 2. So if order of A is equal to m by n, then what should be the order of A transpose? N by m. Okay, remember. Okay, so once we know the how to take the transpose of a matrix, we see these are certain properties of transpose. Okay, the transpose of a transpose will give you back the matrix A. A plus B transpose is the same as A transpose plus B transpose. The transpose of a product is equal to B transpose into A transpose. That means now AB, if you have the order AB, and you're taking the transpose, then it is the same as taking B transpose into A transpose. Remember, this is not equal to A transpose into B transpose. Okay, this is something that you must note. Okay, this is very important. And finally, if you have a scalar K into a matrix A taken as its transpose, you have K into A transpose, right? So this is what you have.
Sir, why is that AB
Hmm.
transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose? B, Y, that is in the front.
Which number? Which number property?
Number 3, sir.
Number 3. AB transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. This is the property. What was the question?
Why B is in the front? You said that
Why B
not A
transpose into A
transpose.
transpose? because matrix multiplication is not commutative, and this is actually a property of transpose. Okay, transpose is such a property that it reverses the order. Okay, we have defined transpose in such a manner that this order gets transposed. This order gets interchanged. Understood? So you just have
Okay.
to remember the property. And last property, as I told you, is any scalar into the property A, you can take out the scalar and multiply it with A transpose, the same as Ka whole transpose. So once we know the what transpose means, let's move on to some sums. Verify that AB transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose for the following. So given here, A is equal to, this column matrix is given 3, 1, minus 2, and B here is a row matrix 1, minus 5, 7. Okay, so what is AB? We need to verify that AB transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose. So we'll just check whether left hand side is equal to right hand side. But before that, we first find out AB. 3, 1, minus 2, 1, minus 5, 7. AB. So what should be AB? First row, first column. So 3 into, first of all, let's see what should be the resulting matrix here. Okay. This is what is the order of this matrix? 3 by 1. What is the order of this matrix? 1 by 3, right? So the order of the resulting matrix should be a square matrix of order 3. That is a 3 by 3 matrix, right? Fine. So now we multiply. First row, first column. So I get 3 into 1. Next, first row, second column. So 3 into minus 5. Next, first row, third column. So right in the 1, 3 position. 3 into 7. Next, second row, first column. Right in the 2, 1 position. So 1 into 1. Second row, second column. So 1 into minus 5. Second row, third column. So 1 into 7. Next, third row, first column. Minus 2 into 1. Third row, second column. Minus 2 into minus 5. Third row, third column. Minus 2 into 7. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. You have found out the product AB. So this is 3 minus 15, 21. 1 minus 5, 7. And you have 2 minus 10, 14. This is what you are getting, AB. Okay. Now we take out, because we need to show that AB transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose, we now take out B transpose. B transpose is equal to how much? If B was what? B was a column matrix, 1 minus 5, 7. So B transpose becomes 1 minus 5, 7. And what is A transpose? A transpose was a column matrix, isn't it? If we take the transpose of this, it becomes 3 minus 1, 3, 1 minus 2. Right? Now we multiply these two together. P transpose, A transpose. 1 minus 5, 7. And you have 3, 1 minus 2. Let's see what the resulting matrix should be. This is a 3 by 1 matrix. And this is a 1 by 3 matrix, right? The resulting matrix again should be a 3 by 3 matrix. So let's see how we multiply. First row, first column. So 1 into 3. First row, second column. So 1 into 1. First row, third column. Second row, first column. Next, second row, second column, second row, third column, third row, first column, third row, second column, third row, third column. So B transpose A transpose, you are getting here as 3, 1, minus 2. This should be, is this a 2 here? Yes, this is a 2 here, not minus 2. 3, 1, 2 if I am not wrong. Okay, this is 3, 1, minus 2. Okay, okay. Okay, this is 3, 1, minus 2. We are correct. So this is 3, 1, minus 2, minus 15, minus 5, 10, and you have 21, 7, minus 14. Okay. So now we start from this left hand side. What do we have to show? We have to show that AB transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose. So left hand side is equal to AB transpose. What is AB we have found out here? AB we have found out here to be 3 minus 15, 21. Right? 1 minus 5, 7. Minus 2, 10, minus 14. This is what we had found out AB above. This whole transpose, which is equal to, if you take the transpose of this matrix, convert the rows to columns. 3 minus 15, 21. 1 minus 5, 7. Minus 2, 10, minus 14. If you see, this matrix is equal to this matrix. And what is this matrix? B transpose A transpose. Which is equal to RHS, which is proved. Clear? Or any question here? No question? Then I'll stop this session for here.